want to preface all this by saying when you see this, you're probably going to think, good Lord, man, what are you doing? But this is all... Hello, gang. Welcome back to Mark's 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Today, I want to talk, hopefully briefly, about what I eat on a normal day. I've gotten a few requests for me to tell you guys what I eat. Now, I want to preface all this by saying when you see this, you're probably going to think, good Lord, man, what are you doing? But this is all based on my ketogenic diet, which is the way I prefer to eat. This may not apply to you. It's just what I do, and it works for me. So here it is. This is what I eat on a normal day. As a matter of fact, this was yesterday, and I documented it and briefly outlined it here on the board, and I'm going to go through it for you right now. Okay, so here we are. This is a breakdown of a single day of this 61-year-old's nutrition / eating. Just so happens this is yesterday. I documented it, and this is what it was. In the morning, weekdays, I get up at 4:30 a.m. And the first thing I do is make me some coffee using my French press. And in this coffee, I put 1 tablespoon of butter. That's right, butter. And 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Not milk or half and half, but heavy cream. And I'll usually sweeten it with liquid stevia. And I'll also have at this time, before I go work out, a protein / MCT oil shake. MCT oil being medium chain triglyceride oil, which is derived from coconut oil. And I'll consume both of these before I go to the gym, and that'll be a total of 450 calories. I go to the gym, do my workout, come back, and around 6:30, a couple hours after this meal, I'll have meal 1. And 9 times out of 10, this particular meal is 4 whole eggs and 1 tablespoon of ghee, or clarified butter. I scramble them up in a bowl with the ghee and microwave that. Believe it or not, that actually turns out pretty good. And I'll also at the same time cook up 4 slices of bacon and consume this as meal 1. And that'll be a total of 640 calories. Now, just as an aside, these little numbers in the parentheses over here are the individual calorie counts for each one of these food items. Okay, so a little later on, about 4 hours later, I'll have meal 2, which would kind of like be lunch, an early lunch. Generally, I'll have a ½ pound of ground beef, grass-fed ground beef, and yesterday it just happened to be spinach, but it could be broccoli, or it could be Brussels sprouts. It just happened to be spinach yesterday. And these two combined is a total of 520 calories. A couple hours later for a snack, I'll have another protein / MCT oil shake. That'll be another 250 calories. Now, I try to do this around 12:30, so it gives me time for that to digest. And sometime between 12:30 and meal 3, I usually run. I'll go out and run. So I want to make sure I have a fairly empty stomach before I go run, so I don't get cramps or stitches. After I run, I come back and I'll eat meal 3. Now, generally speaking, meal 3 will be another ½ pound of ground beef, but it just so happened yesterday I had salmon, and it's wild caught salmon, not farm raised. And what I do with this salmon is I'll cook it, and I don't know what size it was, say this big. I'll cook that and then make like a salmon salad using avocado mayo. They may sound kind of gnarly, but it's actually very good. And yesterday I had Brussels sprouts with this as well. What I do is I slice these Brussels sprouts in half, put them on a pan with some olive oil, and roast them. So that's a total of 600 calories. And then between this meal and before I go to bed, I like to do this maybe an hour or so before I go to bed. This is 1900 or 7 o'clock, somewhere around there. I'll make me a keto cake. Generally speaking, that's what I'll do. I love these keto cakes, and I'm going to link my recipe for a keto cake up here in the corner and down in the description. And this keto cake basically is comprised of protein powder, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. That's not everything that's in there, but this is the caloric intake involved in this. And that's around 540 calories. You add all that up, and it comes up to, just coincidentally, exactly 3,000 calories. Now, if you look at a calculator online for something called a basal metabolic rate, which is basically our rate that we burn calories, the total amount of calories we burn during a day, just being. I think mine was like 2,700. And then you kind of calculate into that as well your daily activity, whether you're sedentary or slightly active, very active, that kind of thing. It turns out mine generally is around 3,000 calories burnt during a day. And that's a rough estimate. By and large, I've been keeping my weight exactly the same. It looks like my body fat level's about the same it's been for the last 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks. So I'm fairly certain 3,000 calories is my baseline. And if I wanted to lose some fat, I'd have to get into a calorie deficit below 3,000 calories. Not really in the mood to do that right now. I think I'm fine. But this right here is basically a ketogenic diet, essentially a ketogenic diet, which I prefer. I'm not recommending it for anyone, but I do suggest, just for your own morbid curiosity, that you look into it, because it is curious and I find it interesting, and I'll leave some links down below that I use to research my ketogenic diet. So if you're curious, check those out. It's very interesting. It's a completely different take on nutrition than we've been taught our entire life. Very interesting stuff. It just so happens that this helps me keep my body fat down. I'm never hungry during a day. I feel completely full all day long. It's very satisfying for me to eat this way. There's enough protein in this for me to at least maintain my muscle mass. This particular diet's heavy on the fat and emphasizes moderate protein and, of course, low carbs. I think my carb intake is somewhere around 30, 40 grams a day, which is pretty low. Now, sometimes on the weekend I might splurge a little bit, but this is a great example of a daily diet for me. So there you go. That's what I eat. I just want to present this to answer a couple of questions that I've gotten about what I eat. Hopefully it helps. And there you have it. If this has been useful at all, helpful at all, please hit that like button. And please hit that subscribe button. And click on that notification bell so you'll know when my videos are coming out. And again, thank you so much for stopping by. I so sincerely appreciate it. Our channel's growing slowly but surely. And I'd like to continue, I'm going to continue doing this for us old guys and gals. And until next time, go get 'em. Mark out.